Hello, boys and girls. Hey, everybody. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David and her ladyship? Now, this morning, I'm hoping to be on for a little while at least, and the aim we got to do a few touch-ups on the paintwork of our Corsair, and then we're going to do some decaling. Yes, we are. Now, it's all pretty much there is to be told. And you all know the drill. There we go. Round we come. Now, I hit her with some varnish this morning. Now, there's a few things we can, or some things we need to do, a few things I would like to do. Now, I need to check this line, tidy this line up here a bit. I also need to tidy this up a bit. Wouldn't mind doing a bit of work on the tail area there. And then whilst that's drying, we'll do some tidying up here. And when that's done, we'll do some deep blue there. And maybe, now here's something I need to check. Excuse me. Okay, because what I'm considering, I'll show you. Let's see, you can see. These are decals. Question comes, do I wish to paint them? They're a pretty straightforward operation. Answer, yeah, possibly. We shall see. Of course, I could just use the decals. That's not so bad off its own, is it now? Anyway. Excuse me. Next on my, now what do I want? What I want is the light blue. This one. Maybe take the cap off. The back. Lid off the front. Actually, that looks like it could be graded already. Maybe give it a bit more love. Now, about there we go. It's just not quite looking nice there, but that was only one coat. So you can't be entirely surprised. You know what I mean? No, it's looking more solid. Happy with that. All right. So that's already looking better. The other area, there are a few areas on here with this color actually. Now it's this area here that I find viewing as particularly rumpy, and I'm not too happy with the tail either. So I want to tidy that up, make it a bit more solid. This is the drill here. get a bit tighter in here. And in turn, it's better. Maybe a bit more there. There we go. All right. Oop, wrong way. There we go. So it's looking a lot more solid. Now we'll get into this tail. Now, right along there, where we need to go. I've got to say, it's a very, what's the adjective I would use? Quirky's the wrong one. But I find it a little odd as a paint scheme. I'm not quite sure why you'd have sky blue suddenly on the tail here. But then again, maybe I haven't seen it. As I haven't seen it, well, in fact, I definitely haven't seen it in operation. Maybe I'd understand then. Once I've got this tail finished, a little bit of work on the other side. Now, because this is an acrylic, it will dry nice and quickly. And I'll just hit. There we go. Now we're getting a better view. Boom. Now, I might just... All right. There's that side. Now I will need to hit that with a bit of the aircraft on the top, on the hull with some varnish before we can actually do the decaling later on this stream. But that's all good in the hood. I have a cunning plan. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now, the other side's what we're after next, isn't it? Now, so we're going to come... At first, I wouldn't mind. The line here isn't meant to be exactly straight, but I want it fairly smooth. So if I can, having set that line in one move, it makes it much easier. A couple of little tidy ups there will be required, but that's all good. Up here, maybe just a bit of a... This is more to cover it where I've got little inconsistencies. Because it has a bit of a up and down line anyway. That's okay. There we go. That's fine. Now, we'll hit that tail again from this side. Now, while we actually might do a bit more. Just in here. While we wait for the varnish on this to dry before we decal, there are a few touch-ups I need to do on other parts as well. A few things we can put together. So there's lots of little side bits we can work on. And then we get on to the decaling. This is the plan. Ayo! That wasn't meant to happen. So let me get a bit of paper towel onto that. Need to thin this out. I could potentially do. Excuse me a moment. There we go. Once that settles in, and it's, yeah, that's coming up. Let me just wipe that stuff off. That's a bit mucky on the table. Now, let's see how we're traveling. Yeah, that's gonna come up quite solidly. There we go. And all of that's pretty good. I'm reasonably happy with the area around the engine, so that's fine. Give this a quick rinse. Now, next, I want to... Okay, first our colour, which will be interior green. Now, mouthful of coffee. Then I'm going to get my goggles on because I want to be fairly clear on where I'm going to the edge here. Now, while I'm here, and a couple of tidy ups there, I would suggest. Alrighty, let's do this. Now, this one's a bit different. This is more like a straight texture. This is a US interior green. Now, yeah, I go that way. Just look at how I'm holding it. Okay. It's very crisp as far as the applicator of the paint. Whoop. Get a bit empty there. Hang on a moment. There we are. Cross here. Very good. And in fact, there we are. There we are. Ooh. And there we go. Oops. Around here. Into down here. All right. It seems to be a slightly different green to the one that I've used on the back, and that's a bit frustrating. Now, there are ways to address that. Let's see. Well, there's no decals that actually go in there. So what I can do is wait and then use the other interior green. That's a bit annoying, that is. Now, it's not a disaster, it's just annoying. Story ends there. Flat black, I do need to do a touch with this. In this instance, we're going to go right on the very touch. And now I need to tidy up some interior green, but that's, well, I'll show you what the issue is. And I'm being pedantic in my colour, but whatever. Now, I've got, I mean, it doesn't look disastrous, and look, let's face it, who's going to know? You know? But, yeah, it's a bit frustrating. Now, in the meantime, how dry is that? All right. Now, I'll get some of that. I'll need a brush for this as well. This blue. I'm going to tidy up the area around the tail. By the time, now that, and there's not much to that to be tidied up. Look, zoom out. But once we've cleaned that up, and I've drawn it much, I might want to wait a moment there. I would suggest one thing I might also want to do. It's just, it's a bit thick there still. So we can actually wipe some off with this brush just to thin it out a bit more. We can even apply it up here a bit. There we are, that's better. All right. All right, there we go. Now, that will soon dry out. Quickly clean that brush, then we can get the dark blue completed. Now, now, next, I want a very crisp brush for this. We will go. Actually, we'll go. There we go. A good old steadfast citadel, perhaps. How good's the point on this at the moment? Very happy. We're doing that now. Yeah. The headset did its dropping out thing. Now we'll get our. Once this is done, I'm also going to do just a couple of other little strips of natural steel. Then I am going to redo that interior green. It doesn't look right, or at least it doesn't. It's got a different colour at the other side of the cockpit, so we'll fix that up. If it was the same colour, it wouldn't matter. It's not. Now, yeah, I see where I am. So, I'll start on this side. Which angle do I want to come from? Probably that side, I would suggest. Boom. Maybe up a little. Now, and we come in. Here we are. Nice and tight. Here we are. Now I'm reckoning that I might be well served to. I don't know, be good. That's looking much nicer. But wrong way. There we are. It's the tail area I was mostly unhappy with earlier. Hang on. Right. So you can see it's much more solid in its colour structure now. Happier with that. Maybe I'll tidy up the other side. Now, all right. All right. Now I can paint those bits there, as I said. As to whether I probably will. Oops. I'll get away with that. So we now have same thing's going to happen here. So I'll hold that like that, maybe, and there we go. So we've got a good solid colour going on our fuselage now, all the way back. Now, now, zoom out. Well, actually, just hit focus. There we go. Clean brush. All right. Now, there's a couple of other little bits we can do. So you may as well. Whilst other bits are drying and stuff. Here's a quick question while I think of it. Give me a moment, guys. Where it is, I forgot to say. Couldn't find my paper towel for a moment there. There we go. Now, yeah, the question just occurred to me. I have done that one and have done that one. Good. Just checking out whether I've done the interiors of those canopies. Now, anyway, next. That's what I wanted to get onto. Well, one thing I can get onto. Give me a moment. Gunmetal. Now, goggles required. Yeah. We're going to come into Nice. Might have created a couple of little tidy ups for myself there, but that's okay. Because now, oops, well, it's an easy fix. We'll worry about that later. Anyway, so 3 little tidy ups required. So the idea is from here, that's going to happen. There we are. So the idea is we have guns to be seen now. Now, next, something else I want to get onto, oily steel. That's natural steel. Gunmetal grey. Where is oily steel? It'll be around here somewhere that I can be sure of. This is oily steel. Boom. And what I want to do with that is to go down the runners for the canopy. Which just oops. A simple case of going along these gutters. There we are. Maybe a bit further. No. One. Let me just check something for a moment. Now we'll do a bit of a tie. Maybe what I'll do, give us a moment. Now what I'm going to do is make it too thick and then cut it back with a touch up later on. I don't mind spending a bit of time on this task of just tidying little bits up before we get onto the decaling, because, and that one's actually pretty good. Just touch that spot there. Oops. And there. Maybe. Right. So there's a few little spots where I'm going to go ding, 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 and that'll look very swish. Now, next, I want to tidy up that cockpit area. What did I want to do after that? I would suggest after that, I'll do some last little tidy ups on our fuselage, like those relevant little spots of the dark blue. And then I would go so far as to suggest that we'll pop that aside. This is the fuselage aside. We will do a bit of other painting and work on a few other little bits and bobs. And then we'll varnish it. And in due course, we'll be decaling. That is the plan. Now, US interior green. Come to Papa. All right. Now, as always, doing these little touch-ups seem to take way longer than I had planned. Never mind. Although, there's not much to be done now. No, there is not. And then we can get down to the business. Now, as far as drying goes, I've just had a thought, guys. Where I'm going to be applying this paint is not relevant to any of the decaling. So I can have decals on here and still do this touch-up. This will take too long to dry and will prevent us from decaling because it'll mess with the varnishing process. It'll delay that. So I'm going to do that later. Aha! So let me have a look at a couple of things here. All I really wanted to tidy up was in here. Yeah, well, let's do that. There, and just around those little edges there, maybe a touch there. And then it won't take long for that to dry, and then we hit it with the varnish. And then, oh, now, so we'll start with the guns. Just there. All right. All right, next. Well, that's cool. Now there's that clear division between the guns on the, yeah, you can see them nice and clearly now. I can see clearly now the guns are there. Oh dear. There we go. As we come across. There we go. Oops, wrong one. Anyway, you get the idea. That was the purpose of that. Zoom out a bit. Now, next we go. Just touch here. Here you go. Aha. Here. Deary me, it's a bit delicate, chaps and ladies and others. Maybe. Aha. This is the angle I need to come from. There we go. Now, one more. Now. Next, once I've got this done, we're doing, open up here just a touch. Down, just. That's gonna look good. All right. And breathe. All right. Now, goggles off. This is good stuff. Give you a zoom in on what I just did. Made me happy. Now, what it is I now have, and I'll probably need to do this that way, I'd say. And we'll go that way. Bing, zip. Little runners for the wrong way, Rob. That's the right way. I still need it, but it's run. That's not too bad. One thing I will say, it is heavy magnification. I can maybe tidy him up a bit more later, but you get the idea. Now I've got to do some tidy ups on the interior green there as well. As you can see, this is all going to happen. But I'll be doing the interior green later, as I said. Now, we'll let that dry. That's not going to take long. When it is dry, which, as I said, won't take long. Now, let's have a bit of a look-see at this. Is there anything we need to do here? Not really. Haven't varnished this yet, though. How's this one come up? Yeah, I might give them a bit of a slap around. Bit of a slap around. We'll go for a nice thick one. There we go. All right. One. That was the other thing I could have considered. Do I want to paint? Fuck it, I'll just use the decals, be damned. I'm always doing the, I'll paint the stripes instead. No, be damned. Do the decals, big boy. It's not that fucking hard. Now, I would suggest that if I clean this brush right about now, in fact, yeah, we'll go and varnish. Now, only thing about the varnishing process is that it's the top then bottom routine. Unfortunately, we still have other stuff we can work on in the interim. So this is all good. Zoom out a bit. Next, so all I did there was give the tail fins a bit of a, because I realised I didn't zoom out, bit of another touch up with the dark blue. Now I'm going to have to take the headset off for a moment whilst I get, also should bring down. Because when you're dealing with all the different sprays and varnishes, the last thing you need is bling on. Roll sleeves up thoroughly, like all the way up. I'll put two there, but I guess ultimately I will need two. Alright. Now, where did I put the varnish last time? Did I leave it near the door? Hopefully. Just have a quick gander. Here it is. Alright, now I'll get this out of the way for the moment because I don't want to come back and put my hand into it. Okay, back in a minute, guys. All right, in about 15 minutes, I will do the underside. I'm actually starting to really like how this is looking. And once the underside is done, we can commence decaling. Yeah, that easy. Or option 2 has come to mind. Give me a moment. Let's have a look at what we've got to decal anyway, shall we? Now on these upper wings. Really? 427s. There's decals that need to go on the tail. These tail fins. That's okay. Well, nah. I will varnish the whole thing so that I can just take care of business. And while I'm doing the undercarriage, I'll do the tail fins as well so that we can get stuck into them. But so beyond that, what goes on the fuselage, I wonder? Because it's not too extensive so far as I can tell. There's a few on the side here. Curiously, scope this shit out. Okay, this is weird. What you'll see here on this is decal 8, goes there, and decal 9 goes there. However, note thusly, decal 8 and decal 9 not used. So why are they even fucking there? What the fuck? That makes no sense. Yeah. Now that I've gotten that out of my system, I feel much happier about things. So ultimately, yeah. Anyway, so in the meantime, a couple of little tidy ups I want to make on here. With the tyre colour. That's pretty straightforward up. Once we find rubber black. Zoom out a bit. So, goggles again. And we'll come into here. Around there. There we go. And and just yeah. Beautiful. Now up to here. It's the spot there apparently. And So, tyres almost done. Now, next, I wouldn't mind. Now, I'm curious to see what their bronze is like as opposed to oh, caps off. So, or is it? What the hell? For some reason, it's not pumping the paint through, unless maybe it is that the paint itself, it is. Oh, it's been coming out. What the fuck? Either way, it's not really the colour I want. Alright, well, that's a bit of a pisser. More that it's leaking is more what I'm doing as the pisser here. That's okay. Now, what we'll do in the meantime is the other option we have, and the one we have used previously on wheels. And all I want to do here is just like the lock nut, that's all. Yeah, that is the one, isn't it? To use or not to use, that is whether it is nobler in the mind. Oh my God, I got an all Shakespearean. It's a pretty heavy concept that Hamlet's really speculating about there, really, when you think about it. One there, and that one there. There we are. So what I've done there is just a little highlight on the lock nut. Zoom out. Now, I did make an error in some of the painting, so this will need to tidy up. And one of the errors in this instance pertains to a portion of the rear wheel that we will attend to now. And let's sew again here. Well, hopefully, now where's our white paint pen? Flat white. Now, this one's going to require, oh no, I don't think, no, this is a straight texture job, I think. Excellent. Yeah, it is, that's what I want. Now, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they came up. Thank you. All right. All right. Now, I come across this side a bit with it. Now, once I've done this one, I am inclined to, oops, a little tidy up there will be required. I'm inclined to hit the fuselage areas with varnish on the undercarriage. And then we can, once that dries, it's decal time. All right. And just down here. Boom. Wait, not quite boom. Still need to do the wheel. That's meant to be white, you see. Now, question I might have here. Yeah, I need to come in with the, yeah. Well, that's okay, what I can do. It'll give me something to work on while I've got tidy ups to do here, but that'll be very easy to work around. Once they've been worked around, well, I can do that whilst I'm letting the undercarriage dry. That's the plan. All right. Next. Now, I'll need to take my goggles off again. And do the undercarriage. Then once that's dried, well, we can decal to our heart's content. We can. Yes, we can. All right. Now, I may as well just leave that there because by the time I get back in, I'll get stuck into doing tidy ups on that. All right. That's the plan. Now, give me a moment. I'll be back. Fireworks. Ah, that's how does your now I believe your ladyship's dog is Dot. How does Dot deal with that? I know that a lot of dogs don't like them. No, don't like. Now, almost. Almost. And just around here. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Now, this side. Oops. I know we should be okay. Should be okay. There we are. All right. All I'm doing here is tidying up the rear wheel. So that all we got to do now is just a little strut that attaches. We can do the oily steel right now. All right. And then that'll do it. Now oily steel. Boom. No, that's the gunmetal grey, isn't it? Hang on a moment. Now it was. I used it not long ago. Come on now, Rob, wherever you put it, use your brain, boy. Here it is. Now, this is a very small area. Whilst I think I might just check that. No, we're good there. Oh, wait a minute. There was. Oh no. We're good. Alright. Now, all I want to do here is just a little tiny area around and around the nut. The easy way to do it is that way. We've got our strut now. And when that dries, we can highlight the lock bolt. And then our rear wheel area will be complete. Alright, there we go. Now, clean that brush. What else can I do? How long ago did we... Oh, hey, Daniel, how you doing? Now, Just trying to think what my next move would be on the painting whilst we wait for that last varnish to dry. Here's one. Because that was just lying randomly on the desk. So what we will do is, heaven forfend, put her away somewhere so that it doesn't get lost. Who would have thought that might be a good idea, eh? Now, let's have a look. Oh, that'll take too long. I was thinking about painting this, the name tag that goes with it. But I think given that I've already been going for an hour and 13, I do. Yeah, really, once it's past the 2-hour point, I'm starting to get a bit needing to go, sort of a deal. We'll see. We'll see. Now, what was I looking for? That was it. What part number goes? Okay, so that's okay. So the drop tank, F4 and F5. I thought I put the drop tank together. Oh yeah, here we go, F4 and F5. That then goes, but that's not going to hold on to anything. Surely it's got a bracket. Some variety, you would think. I also need to make sure what colour that is. Yeah, that doesn't look right in comparison to what I have, that is. Rubbing. Let's have a look at these parts, shall we? Where are the part numbers there? That's 6. Anyway, they're the wrong ones. That's it. That's the drop tank, all right. Where are the brackets, though? That doesn't look like it's going to fit on anything. Hang on. That's Hasagawa. That's not what we're looking for. Clearly not these ones. Give me a moment. I'm just having a gander. See, that's the thing that's confusing me. If you look at this drop tank, and that's what that looks like to me, it doesn't indicate on the assembly sheets what bracket goes with them. Therefore, it's confusing me. Like so. No, has me mystified. I'll have to keep an eye out and try and work that little. You see, it looks a bit more like. Now, how big is it first? I don't know, I'm confused about that. It's distracting me now. Alright. Now, in the meantime, let's get back to business. So we'll get that out of the way. Get this over to here. Alright. Now, first up, decal sheet. And decal joied would be handy. Okay. Alright. Alright. Next. Decal sheet. Being. Come here, yeah. Now I'm going to get the some of these we can just straight out cut out, and will. Alright, these are all pretty straightforward. Okay, and happily not too extensive in number. In fact, I think probably my first protocol will be just straight out cutting out all those that I don't need, because there's quite a few of them. In any event, I think they're supposed to be safety belt ones. If so, there's another one I can cut out. Yeah, they are. Okay. Now, 15. That's one of these we're after. All right. Okay. I'm going to get a bowl of water. Actually, no, I'm not. Now, first I'm going to need something to cut on here, aren't I? Don't want to be cutting straight on the table. So, give me a moment. Put all of that back. There we go. I should have grabbed the other one. Anyway, now, scalpels. Ones I don't need are well, I clearly don't need the Tamiya stuff here. So let's just cut that as a start. I don't think I need And according to them, neither 8 or 9 do I need, and I don't think I need 11 either. Nope. Okay, so we can cut them out. Once we've sliced all this out, I'm quietly confident that there will actually be not too much. There we go. That's them out of the way. Now, ours is 86, so we're not going to be needing the 29s or the 122s. All right. Or indeed decal 10. Now, or indeed these. Worry about them later. Now, once I've cut out the ones that are mostly on the outside that we don't need, it becomes a bit easier to access those that are on the inside, if you follow me. Slice along here. Now, get out of there, you. We'll come across here, up there. And finally, at least at this angle, them out. We'll leave that there for the time being. That's a good amount of cutting done. Or is it? Nah. Now, we'll pop these over to somewhere. We don't need them, it's the bottom line. Come here. What I'm also going to do, just grab this much smaller cutting board. I think it's better suited to the purpose at the moment. The sheer amount of space taken. Like so. Put that there. Get these out of the way. These actually need to be varnished, but we'll get onto that later. I don't think we're going to get all of the decaling done yet, but that's okay. Now, next, we've also got all these paint pens out of the way. We don't need them either. At least not right now. over here. Grab a suitable pair of them. Clear this stuff off. Goggles off. And decaling brushes. Around here somewhere. Oh, where the hell have I put them? Aha! Thanks. Where's the other one? Although for the time being this will be fine. That's the one I'm looking for the most part now. Where's the other one gone? We'll worry about it when we get to the small stuff. At the moment I'm looking more at doing big stuff. Okay. Oakley dokley. Well, I shall be back in a minute. All right, now something what I'll do, if you wouldn't mind getting onto first, is the wings, but because of actually I think it's those bigger ones go on the fuselage, but I could be wrong. Let's find that out. So we're looking for, now these are, no, they go on the under, it's on the underside, as is that. Oh, no, that's just straight out convenient, that is. All right. There's two more we don't need in the process. Here we go. Quick bit of scalpel work. And then we can certainly get one of those on, and we shall. Scalpel work required is there. There. Oops. It's got a bit messy there, but got away with that. Now, next, we just cut that number out there. More there, perhaps. There we go, that's that out. And across. There. Now, the only thing I really need to make sure of at this stage is exactly where it goes, which is on the very edge of that panel there. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah, Tamiya, as one would have hoped and expected, the backing is not excessive or unnecessary. And I'd also be expecting a really, oh wait, where's, oh there it is. Is that the decal setter? Yeah, it is. Sweet. Alright. Now, I can't remember how easily Tamiya decals move. Let's find out. Not yet. Now, there's the one on the other wing? No, that's fine. And indeed, it's pretty much standard on US aircraft. They only have the insignia on one wing. It is moving, but it's a little slow. I might just give it a few more seconds. There we are, I reckon. Let's have a look. Yep. Now, all right. Let's do this. And I believe I might even just a little nudge there. Is that correct? It is correct. Bullseye, first shot. Got to be happy with that. There we go. First one on. Oh, hey Jeff, how you doing? Now we can go across with 220. Actually, wait, let's see what falls into the natural order of doing stuff, because that's probably going to be a bit easier to consider. Now, this is on the undercarriage and therefore going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Where did Decals 2 go? I wonder. Oh, that's their fuselage ones as well. Okay. What about Decal 12 then? Ah, I see. All right. So what we're doing next is our fuselage ones. So we'll turn him around. Got to say, I was quite impressed with how smoothly the decals came off there. It was very nice. It was very nice. Yeah. Right, now this one goes. Okay. Well, let's get it out first. All right. Now, I want to get that number out. Tweezers. Now, and soak. Now, once this one starts moving, I'll just check exactly where it goes. I'm pretty sure I've got it sorted, but you know. All right, let's see how we're traveling. Not yet. Dearie me. Bit more. Now, we'll just check something for a moment. For a moment there I was worried that it was crooked. It's just the way it sits on the wing. Now, so we are looking to go right about there. Parallel with that? No. But square to that. Alright, just checking my angles. Now, it's got to go about. What I might quickly do. Give me a bit more of an angle to work with. That's the idea anyway. We'll see. We'll see. Now, yeah. Here we go. About there. Now, give me a moment. Hey-yo! Come here, you bitch of a thing. Hey-yo, now's not the time. Now, knock that down. Across. Quite a way across, in fact. Up. Now, on that, that's pretty good. Yeah, boom. There's that one on. What's up, Jeff, is what I am decaling at the moment, as you can see. Now, my next move, I should actually grab some. Where's my big box of cotton wool buds? I know, or a bag of them I've got loose around here. I'm going to need some at some stage. In fact, I can already see I do need some. Where have I put them? Rob. Yeah, they are right in front of me. Boom. Now, just get some of that decal setter off the. Yeah, good. Now, next decal to hit. Well, I guess 86, which goes just at the end of that. I'm kind of confident I can just nail that one straight out. Let's do this. All right. Next. Now, we are not going to finish the decaling today, but that's fine. We're going to get a lot of, well, not a lot of it. We'll get some of it done, and we'll probably finish it tomorrow. It's pretty straightforward. Now, wondering whether to... I know what I'll do. I have a cunning plan, kids. As far as the order of decaling I'm going to do, that is... Actually, it's not that cunning. Just working out as to what's going to be the best way of approaching getting the different decals on. All right, decal setter. So just, yeah. Now, almost. There we go. A bit lower. Boom. Now, next, the undercarriage one, I think I'd do well to leave till I've done all the so upside of things, all these upper areas. So, next, what we'll do, I reckon tomorrow we'll be able to get these decals completed. And then it will just be final assembly and weathering. There we go. Get that one out of the way. You'll be needing this one. Pop that one to here for the time being. Pop that one there. This one is the one I seek. There we are. Now there's a couple of numbers around it that I need to slice out. Then get that out. Move that around. Where's the little plinth? Oh, Jesus. this instance, we need to go, well, obviously exactly the same, sort of slightly different. Okay. Right. Okay, we'll do that then. Tweezers. Tweezers, Las Vegas. Now, once these next two are on, I might have a bit of a gander at the time, but to have these main ones on is good. We've made some good progress. Let me just see how. But we've made really good progress today on the whole. Not moving yet. Now this one is much further forward than the corresponding decal. This one comes forward to about here, as it happens. And, yep, yeah. Now, let us about here. Now, a bit higher. Right. All right, so next, oh wow, making really good progress now. Now I reckon once I get this next decal on, it'll be wind up time. I reckon we'll get all the rest of the decaling finished tomorrow. because it's not that hard. Seriously, it's pretty straightforward on this instance. All right, that'll be good. You can even do things like, I mean, I might do some more later on today, but I've just got, I'm going doing some training, no less. So I'm need to get things in order and get ready. These are the things. But I think we made generally good progress. Now we're moving. Not yet. Alright. It is moving. Let's give it a quick 1, 3, 4. Alright. Next, decal setter. This one's going to be just there. A bit further up. Almost right. Ah! Hey you. Hey you. Ah, and breathe. Now, I may as well show you what we did today. What we did most, this is before I wind up anyway. So, today what we've done, aside from a bit of decaling, we've tidied up our tail areas so they look nice. We've obviously got some of the decaling on. We discovered that the interior green that I have in the pen is different to the interior green in the cockpit, so I'm going to need to fix that up. We consolidated the color on these are the, get off of there, and varnished them as well. These are the tail fins, and we also have almost gotten the, where are they? Or it was the point. Yes. I put in some of the wrong color, or a wrong color on this, the rear wheel. I'd put in blue rather than white. So we've mostly tidied that up. Still got a little touch to do, but it's pretty much good to go. So, that is me done for today. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. Now, first-time viewers out there, you know the drill. There's a magic word for you. It's not abracadabra. It's not Shazam. It's not even open fucking sesame. It's follow, like, or subscribe. if you'd like to track me down on other platforms. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with how things went today. I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. And what do, people? We follow, like, or subscribe. Now, tomorrow I shall be back. And what I shall be doing is, or I'm expecting, that I shall be completing the decaling on the Corsair, and that will be a big win. So the next stage after that is simply final assembly, and which is not much, and weathering. Actually, weathering on final assembly, but there we go. All right. And on that note, people, I will be back tomorrow at the similar kit time and on the same kit channel. Hopefully I'll catch you good people then. See yous.